everybody. I'm going to be doing a seafood ceviche today. I've got all my ingredients here. Ceviche is sometimes over marinated, so people marinate it 24 hours ahead of time. I don't like doing that. I like doing it like 2 or 3 hours before you eat it. That way it stays nice and firm. It doesn't get all mushy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to season the plate. A little extra virgin olive oil. This just helps marinate from the underside as well. A little fresh lemon juice. Just going to mix that around, coat the plate. A little salt and pepper on the bottom.
Everybody loves S&P, man.
A little bit of finely sliced shallots. Just spread them around on the bottom of the plate.
Do you prefer shallots over onion?
I do, especially for something like this. The shallots are not as strong, and they are a little bit sweeter. So we're going to put that on the bottom of the plate. Then we take the fish, just lay it around. Try and slice the fish the same thickness. So we've got fresh salmon, fresh cod,
nice,
fresh halibut, and baby shrimp. Just put those in the middle.
And what do we have here now?
That's the halibut.
The halibut.
So then we're just going to sort of mold it into the middle of the plate. Make sure it has a nice presentation. A little bit more salt and pepper on top. When you're seasoning, try and season from a distance above the plate so you get a little bit of all the seasoning on all the seafood or whatever else you're marinating or seasoning.
Mark, I noticed that earlier you added the salt and pepper in the beginning there. Is that to marinate, or I guess like put the seasoning top and bottom?
Right, so I want to, because we're not going to cook this or move it, it's going to be eaten from the plate like this. So now we've got even amounts of seasoning underneath and on top. The first ingredient we're going to put on is the fresh lemon juice. This starts to cure or cook, or some people, it's not really cooking, but that's the first thing to go on to kind of start the marinating process. Then the extra virgin olive oil. Now what I like to do at this stage is put it in the fridge or the freezer for about half an hour so it really gets cold. It helps with the marinating, but obviously we only have 5 minutes here, so. Next thing we're going to do is sprinkle a little bit of the fresh cilantro. A little bit of diced tomato.
That is really coming together.
Yeah, you can see how it's just getting prettier every moment.
And I love the variety of flavors. You have the acidic lemon, you have the sweet tomato, you have the fragrant cilantro. It looks beautiful.
A little bit of finely diced cucumber. A little bit of raw mushroom. A little avocado.
The good fat. We love avocado.
I love avocado. So you can see this dish is really starting to look nice. A couple of wedges of lime. I really like my ceviche with lots of citrus, so I would add a little bit. That's what we got over here, the samples. It's good to eat the way it is, or you can just add a little bit more. Now, these greens here can really add another dimension to the plate.
Yeah, so here we have 2 different microgreens. One is the popcorn shoots, so it's a little bit sweeter. It has that earthy tone to it as well. And it has that really nice deep yellow coloring to it because it's not grown under the light. And then here we also have the ruby radish. It has a really beautiful ruby stem, so that's why it's called ruby radish. And the radish in general also has that peppery notes to it as well.
Right, this one's a little sweet, like you said, and this one's really peppery. So this one I wouldn't use a lot. It just finishes off the garnishing, gives it nice color, gives a nice bit of pepper on the palate. And
it's all fresh and all local here in London, Ontario.
Mark from Waldo's on King and Mark's Fine Meats. All these seafoods are available at both locations.
The Covent Garden Market, downtown London. Now tell us more about Mark's Fine Meats.
Mark's Fine Meats we bought about 3 years ago. It was an organic butchery from just outside Lucan, I believe they were. And we bought it, we took it over, we revamped it, we changed all of our suppliers. We're still mainly organic. 70 to 80% of our meat and dairy is organic, chicken, poultry, and it comes from local farms within, say, 2 hours of London. And then we have high-grade Wagyu beef, fresh seafoods. So we've really built a new clientele of not just organic meats and seafoods, but just triple A grade, like I said, Wagyu beef. So it's worked out really good, and we're really proud of what we built.
And Mark, you also have a fabulous newsletter where you supply sometimes for special occasions like Valentine's or for Christmas, some, you know, like almost packaged dinners where you can have all the ingredients and have a lovely meal with your significant other.
We learned that through COVID. When we were shut down for a year and a half, it gave us a lot of time to think about things. So I'm going to have one of these as well, because I really love ceviche. So yeah, COVID was a really tough time, but it taught us, we became much smarter in how we ran the restaurant and the butchery, and it's paid off for us. So glad that it's behind us, but we learned a few good lessons. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Remember, ceviche you should eat as cold as possible.
And why is that, Mark? Does it open up the flavors a little bit more?
It's raw seafood, and so you don't want raw seafood to get warm. You want to always make sure it's straight out of the fridge, straight on the plate, straight back in the fridge. And it just tastes better when it's really chilled down. It's like a real good cocktail, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, this is absolutely delicious, and we can't thank you enough, Mark, for letting us try some delicious ceviche and you joining us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you
We'll
so
see you all
much.
at Waldo's and Mark's Fine Meats.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank Melissa in the back there. She's watching me eat this. She did actually all the work. I just come on camera and, you know, look good, I hope.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
This is the Newsload.